Okay, welcome back. Last time we made our way all the way up from the resort area and arrived at Stark Mountain. Unfortunately, we did lose our Lucario in the process, and in between episodes I basically just ran back. I just ran back and put Lucario in PC, and also went and bought some super repels, because I'm going to need them. So let's just head on at Stark Mountain. Okay, so, obviously Team Galactic are conducting some form of operation at Stark Mountain. They are trying to get the Magma Stone, and with Jupiter and Mars here, they are the two, well, they basically just want answers of, hey, where did Cyrus go? Which, to be fair, I think is a very valid question, especially considering we just ran into them and we were the last, technically we were the last person to see him, so it does make sense that they would want to get that answer from us. Can things please stop using Memento? I've also never seen that movie. I've heard it's good, but I don't know what's about. 187, 199. Okay, yeah, let's go to Kai for this. And I'm so glad I have a speed up button because knocking out a Blissey will take forever. And I'm actually kind of surprised it took the hit. Okay, so shot. Wow. And then it knocks itself out with the recoil damage. Okay, Dustox comes in. Yeah, I'll just go back to Vermilion for this. I'll just go back to Vermilion for this and just Flamethrower. And obviously after this fight, we have to go and fight Jupiter immediately afterwards. You have to fight them back to back. Honestly, I wouldn't have minded if it was another double battle, because, although to be fair, I like how, Master's like, do you have some form of vendetta against me? No, you've just challenged me 3 times and lost every time. Like, okay, also, this, I was assuming that Jupiter and Mars were at least kind of friends, but apparently they just aren't. But let's see if Jupiter fares any better than Mars did. I doubt she will, but let's see how it goes. Okay, an Exploud. Let's just go for Bug Buzz. That just one-shots, 10 out of 10, that's great. That's how the Kyogre was coming in, so let's just go to Kai for this. Okay, Kyogre comes in, so now we have Thunder Punch. Net. That Kyogre went for sheer gold. So that was very dangerous. Kai goes up level 67. Wants to learn Giga Impact. I'm gonna pass on that. For reference, Giga Impact is basically just physical Hyper Beam. It's kind of not amazing. Okay, and then we just one-shot with Bug Buzz, and with that, Jupiter is defeated. And with that, I don't think we actually see Jupiter or Mars ever again, because with this, they both decide, yeah, we're just gonna go and try to find Cyrus. It's just like, yeah, I'm quit with Team Galactic, I am out of here. So they just leave. They're done. Like, they are done with Team Galactic, they are perfectly content and happy to just go back to being ordinary people and ordinary trainers. And I like that for them. I hope they do well in their adventure. And that basically leaves Charon in charge. And basically he quickly takes this moment to run down Cyrus again, and run down his vision, which, to be fair, Cyrus's vision is massively misguided. And basically it's like, no thanks to him, now I have to struggle with all the pieces. Young people can live with their dreams, but but he prefers to remain firmly in reality, and therefore he believes in the money. And okay, I can kind of respect this. He's just like, I'm not dealing with you. Everyone who tried to fight with you lost. So I'm just gonna leave and do my thing. Bye. And he just leaves. I mean, by leaves, I mean he goes further into Stark Mountain. Okay, also, another thing I did in between episodes was I added, I PK hexed in 19 rare candies thinking I was going to add that Starly to the team and train it up to be a Staraptor. Then I decided against it. So I just kind of threw, so basically I gave myself 19 more rare candies and then I threw them all away. I also went and bought some, what should we call it, repels. I went and bought some repels, and also I prepped for the Legendaries episode by giving myself the Azure Flute Members card for Secret Key and the Oak Slatter. I'm gonna say that I'm not allowed to use, like, whatever Darkrai, Shaman, and Arceus have been randomized to, I'm gonna say I'm not allowed to use them. However, I do want to go through those events in the Legendary episode, just to see what they are. And also because I've never actually seen those events, like, in-game. I've seen them via screenshots, but I've never actually experienced them in-game, and I would quite like to do so. Oh, so, that's my justification for that. And let's hopefully manage to get through Stark Mountain without any issues, because, I'm also... Another thing I always need to remember about this area is, never come in here without repels, because I feel like the encounter rate in here is just ludicrously high. Like, I don't know if it's actually higher than everywhere else in the game, but it feels really high. Like, I think Turnback Cave maybe has the same or more encounters though. Like, Turnback Cave has a ton. I'll be going to Turnback Cave pretty soon. And fittingly enough, the repel wears off one tile away from where Buck will actually join us. And basically, now we just team up with Buck, and we have to go the long way around, well, through Stark Mountain. And here's the little annoying thing. I don't remember exactly how to do this. So I'm just gonna say this outright. Sorry if I get lost. Okay, Corsola Jolteon. Wow, he has level 72. Okay, I'm gonna go for the Corsola, I think. I'm gonna go for the Corsola, and I think this might be the wrong decision. That was definitely the wrong decision. The right decision would have been to kill the Omastar first. But at the same time, I feel like Jolteon would be very much just left to the mercy of TMs. And so I'm not that beaten up about it. And also Gallade. Gallade would have been cool, but it would also... a couple of them that we've seen, we know that it has Truant, so that wouldn't have been an ideal pickup either. So I'm gonna see 3 more encounters and then leave it. Okay, a potential Slacking and a potential Tyranitar. Both of those would have been huge, not gonna lie. Like, I may not be the biggest fan of Tyranitar, but, like, I'm not gonna... Like, T-Tar might not be my favourite, but you're never gonna hear me say outright that... like, it might not be my favourite pseudo-legend, but you're never gonna hear me just outright lie and say, yeah, Tyranitar is bad. Because Tyranitar is objectively really good. Also, I'm gonna put Renekton at the front of the party, mostly just for type coverage. Because, well, we do have some double battles in here, and these might be very, very dangerous. Especially looking at the levels... well, looking at the levels of the wild Pokemon, looking at Buck's level, yeah, this may be a little bit dangerous. Oh no. This might be even worse than I thought. I have to swap out immediately. I have to swap out and go to Venomoth, because I'm pretty sure that this Weezing has Wonder Guard. Or at least I know it can have it. So I'll just go for Psychic. 10 we just one-shot the Weezing, because Weezing, again, is a physically defensive Pokemon. Like, Weezing is the one that's physically defensive, whereas Muck is like its counterpart and especially defensive, I think. Okay, Aura Sphere hits. Finishes off of that. So let's just get rid of this Lucario. That was too much damage. And now we need to play a potentially very, very dangerous game. Okay, I'm gonna go to Vermilion. And I'm gonna set up Nasty Plot. So I'm gonna set up 3 Nasty Plots, right? It's going for counter a whole bunch. I'm gonna go for Flamethrower this turn. It's been going for counter, it's gonna go for Miracle, I just know it. Never mind, we're +6, we just one-shot, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, not question averted, crisis averted. And what else could we have had? Jolteon and T-Tar again. I do really like Jolteon, but I do think it would have been left to the mercy of TMs. And looking at our TMs that we've had access to so far, Dig got replaced with Slam, so that's not great either. But, like, we've definitely had some terrible TMs in this playthrough so far. And it's like, the TMs that have been good moves have pretty much all been just, like, things... Like, the TMs that have been actually good moves have basically just been for Pokemon that just don't learn anything. Or, like, they're attached to... I don't know, I feel like my TMs in this playthrough have definitely not been particularly good. Or, like... I have a few good ones, but it's just like a lot of these are just not practical to have. Okay, I'm gonna actually I shouldn't focus on. I was gonna say I shouldn't focus on that Swallow. I should focus on the Gyarados. But at the same time, if it's just gonna use Hyper Beam, that's fine by me. I was kind of hoping that Buck would, you know, attack the Gyarados. Okay, we have. Okay, that's a Sunflora. It's not a problem at all, we just one-shot Sunflora. Sunflora, literally the worst Pokemon. Well, the worst evolved Pokemon, I guess. And the last Pokemon's a Dustox. So let's just get rid of this one side. Okay, there goes that, and now we can just double in. And if that had critted, I was going to be so upset. But now we just crunch a couple of times, and this Gyarados should be pretty much done. There we go. And what's our last Pokemon? Another Dustox. A whole lot of Dustoxes today. Like, there's been a whole lot of Dustoxes in these last couple of episodes. I guess Dustox is like the flavor of the day Pokemon. That sentence makes no sense. And also, I don't know why I went to heal, because I can tell you exactly why I went to heal. I forgot that Buck would heal me. Also, another thing. I might be misremembering because I haven't played original Diamond and Pearl since like 2008. Like, I don't think I've played original Diamond and Pearl since Platinum came out. But I remember Buck being like really mean in original Diamond and Pearl, and I think they must. But obviously, if that's the case, they must have changed it. But like, I don't think that can't be accurate. They are born in Floroma Town, so they're for sure thrilled to be here. Okay. Okay, so what do these two have? Wow, this person won all the stuff at the Battle Tower. If they've done that, it must be really strong. And I'm not saying that in like the sarcastic way, I'm saying that in the, oh no, they won at the Battle Tower way, because as you may recall, the Battle Tower basically just cheats. Also, 10 out of 10, thank you game for just giving me so many opponents with ground type Pokemon. And hopefully Renekton won't go over-leveled. I mean, what am I talking about? I have plenty of leeway right about now. Okay, a Parasect. So we'll probably just one-shot the Corsola, especially if we get that. Hydro Pump, not gonna do... That actually did a fair bit. And now we can just Fire Punch, bring down the Parasect. And also, I'll be totally honest, I woke up this morning, and I've been minorly inconvenienced all day. Because, you know how when... Oh no, don't correct. 10 out of 10 we lived. You know when... You know some days you just, like, wake up and it's like... Oh, I don't know how to properly describe it. It's like... Like, I've had... Like, it feels like sound is, like, muffled in one ear. Like, I've basically had that all day in my right ear. So I can currently hear perfectly in my left. But, like, my right is just, like, kind of muffled, so that's, not ideal. Hopefully it doesn't have, like, any actual, like, effect on the episode. But, yeah, that's where I'm at today. That, and also, it's very fitting that I'm recording the episode that's in a literal volcano, when it is just horribly warm here. Dragon of the Pirate... It is a totally classic setup. I'll give him credit on that. The Howl of his Iron Fists. Howdy, he's crazy for karate. That is a very solid line read if I've ever seen one. Garchomp and Voltaria. We're gonna focus on that Garchomp straight away. Okay, goes for Dig. It'll probably be focusing on the Omastar, so I'll knock out the Altaria. There's a quad effective Ice Fang will do that. Dig knocks out Omastar, so now I'm 2v1. Blossom comes in, I'll I'll Ice Fang the Garchomp. And we get hit with the Flame Body, and the Leaf Storm. No. No, they just killed my Feraligatr. Oh no. Okay, what do I do now? Venomoth. Venomoth is the play here. So, Venomoth was not the play. Okay. This is fine. We can still work with this. I'll crunch the Garchomp. No Flame Body, 10 out of 10. We got Stun Sport because you can still paralyze electric types in this gen. It goes for Sunny Day, it's gonna start going for Solar Beam, I imagine. So I'm gonna swap out and go a Houndoom, and hopefully we don't have any more battles in here. Okay, Magical Leaf does nothing, and we're just gonna Flame through it. That one was for 2 of my Pokemon. What's next? A second Blossom. That Blossom didn't do anything wrong, but I'm still taking it personally. Okay, so Electivire and Houndoom are the only 2 survivors. So let's just quickly shuffle the party around to reflect that properly. I guess I should actually put Rhyperior up here. So Venomoth and Renekton are both dead now. Man, honestly, if Feraligatr had made it all the way to the end, like if Feraligatr had survived this playthrough, I was genuinely considering just letting it retire. Like, just letting it retire because it'll have won 2. Like, it would have won 2 back to back. But, well, I guess that's not going to be the case. Sorry, Feraligatr. That Flame Body really did. I want to say Flame Body mattered, but at the same time, like, Leaf Storm. Anyway, we've now made it all the way up to here, and this is where we would normally find Heatran. So let's just head right on in, and hopefully not encounter a ground type. Cyrus disappeared, Mars and Jupiter quit, Saturn said he would remain after what remains of Team Galactic, but he won't join Charon's side, which I think is a good little thing for him. Okay, note, Charon has done nothing of value at this point. Could have made him rich beyond imagination, but enough of that, the Magma Stone, like, he has now decided that the Magma Stone is going to be his. And, well, taking the Magma Stone will basically just bring Heatran out. Okay, you'll awaken the legendary Heatran, control volcanoes, eruptions, and extort money by the millions. Okay, so, the boss of the reborn Team Galactic. And here comes Krogunk. Big W from Krogunk. Because here is Looker, who is disguised as a rock. 10 out of 10, I think this is also the last time we're going to see Looker in this game. Disguising yourself as a boulder for a stakeout wasn't easy. Yeah, I can't imagine it would be. International Police cordially requests his cooperation, and with that, he's all that's left, so they are gone. And also these grunts are going to basically just make a run for it. Like, they just run away like big heroes. He knows nothing, because he's actually done basically nothing. He's just here. He's done with Heatran, all blathering of a harmless old man. And with that, yeah, basically, Charon's now arrested, and, well, we don't ever see him again. Like, he never appeared in a later game. He's an old man, but he can't be good for him. That's fine. Good for him. But yeah, we never see him again. I don't think, anyway. Plus it's too hard, so now we just leave. The air outside, it's delicious, yes! Meanwhile, you know, volcanic ash. All that jazz. So basically, what happens is, Heatran's now been awakened, so we can now go back through Stark Mountain, Mountain, and Heatran will appear and we can go and catch it. I'll be doing that in the Legendaries episode. So Buck is... he's like... I imagine he's like meant to be the groundskeeper or something on Stark Mountain or whatever. And well, he goes all the way over there. Investigate the hideout, uncover Charon's plot, which allowed him to stake out of this place. Charon's now in custody. And Team Galactic is now gone. Like, Team Galactic, we never deal with them again. Okay, so Magma Stone's back where it's belong. Heatran won't wake up. Probably. Okay, it's in the survival area. So now, that's how we get into, I think it's called the Battleground, and so we had to do this in order to actually gain access to that, which is where we get the rematches with the gym leaders. More wonderful meeting with Farton, that's a quote he heard many years ago in a foreign land. Its meaning I understand it better now. Okay, it's been a very long time since I played the post-game of X and Y, but I feel like that might be in there. And if it is, that means... yeah, and if that's in there, that means that, like, this would take place before X and Y. Also, I'm gonna put Kai back out front, because in general, he's just a stronger Pokemon. And honestly, I think I'm gonna try to dodge all the remaining trainers here. Because I know there's a couple of trainers I haven't fought, but honestly, when I only have 2 living Pokemon, I don't really want to fight people. However, I do also want to make my way over to the survival area, I think. So let's attempt to do that safely. Okay, so, also, fun little thing about chat art, in the DS version, I think they actually removed it in future games. You could, for the move chatter, you could record a little, like, sound clip and it would play it. It would play it for you with, you know, horrendous audio compression and all, but it could play that. Also, this guy will, yeah. He basically trades you Pokemon for... basically, in this game, the Pokedex was in multiple languages, and this guy will trade you Pokemon that have different, regional, whatchamacallits. Basically, you can get the German and French and Spanish and everything. I think it's like German, French, Spanish, Italian... German, French, Spanish, Italian, English, and I think there's one more. I want to say Swedish, but I don't think that's it. Basically, he gives you... you can trade Pokemon with him, and you get Pokemon from various places in different languages, I think. All for us. I have a Pokemon named Heracross. Would I trade it for a Sudowoodo? No, because my Heracross is tragically dead, and I'm not going... and 1, that would be big cheating, and 2... I'm not going to, you know, desecrate the grave of my Heracross for this. And I don't want to fight this lady if I can avoid it. There we go. I feel like there must be a hidden item there. Is this still Route 226? Let's just quickly bring up the town map. I'll be totally honest, I haven't been to this area of the map since, like, 2008. Since... like, I never come to this bit of the map. I always just, like, get to the survival area by the way up, rather than going all this way around it. And there's nothing here. There's probably a hidden item, but I'm not gonna, you know, check every tile for it. So let's just hopefully make our way to the survival area without any losses. Okay, a potential Meganium could have been a really cool encounter, but we have had our encounter for Route 226, which was a Hitmonchan. And I am very glad that I can... okay, yeah, I'm dodging those two. There's no way I'm fighting them right now. I want to avoid any and every trainer possible right about now. Because if someone turns up with a ground type, that's game over. Like, straight up, if someone has a ground type right now and I run into them, that is game over. Like, 100%, I do not win that fight. Unless it's like a Golem. If it's a Golem or a Steelix or something, I might have a chance because of low kick. But like, if I end up in a battle and someone throws out, like, actually a Whiscash might be even worse. If someone throws out, like, a Hippowdon or another Garchomp or something, at that point, I just lose outright. And, yeah, I would like to avoid that, because I've played so far into the game Like, I've played so far into the game now that I would like to win. I mean, obviously I'd like to win in general. Because, like, yes, I did technically win the main game already, but I want to win the post-game. I've won all of them so far, and I don't want to change that now. And, okay, there's a sign here, so this must be the survival area. Okay, so, survival area. We made it! Is your big bag full of items, or is it full of dreams? No, it's full of a ton of items. And is there isn't a special mart here. Okay. Okay, I don't really want to go much. Actually, hang on, there is another move shooter in here. I don't know exactly where they are, but I know there's a move shooter in this area, and I want to go find them. Because whatchamacallit, I am doing terribly with words in this episode. I am really sorry. Anyway, let's just quickly put Renekton, Venomoth in the death box. The amount of powerful, fantastic Pokemon I've lost in this playthrough so far, and also a Wynaut, is genuinely starting to sadden me, but fortunately I do have plenty of potentially really strong backups, and if everything starts going terribly, I have the big guns in, like, Arceus, Regigigas, and Kyogre. But yeah, what I want to do now is quickly just try to find this move shooter. I probably won't be able to teach them anything, because I don't have green, yellow, or blue shards available to me. But, like, the Pokemon League just sells red ones, so maybe I can find something good from there. Okay. Okay, this is normally Facade. What is it instead? Mean Look. I mean, that could be helpful for trying to hunt down those... those pesky whatchamacallits, those roaming legends, that's the word I was looking for. Also, I don't want to go and fight... I don't want to talk to Buck yet, because I'm concerned that he'll actually make me fight my rival. And... If I climb up this cliff and there's a trainer, Of course, why wouldn't there be? Okay, no ground type. No ground type. That's all I need. No ground type. No ground type? It's a Mothim. It's a Mothim. I can just Thunder Punch that into next week. I momentarily had a panic. That's a Raikou. That is a Raikou. It shouldn't be able to do much. I can just crunch. I can just crunch. I can just crunch. It goes for discharge. I can just crunch. Yeah, I win this DPS race. Okay, crisis averted. Although Raikou was super cool, if I'd lost Kai, I would have actually just put Raikou on the team. Okay, we pick up a hard stone. I was really hoping that would be a TM, maybe even a usable TM. What a novelty that would be. Okay, I'm gonna heal up. Wait, have I already had an encounter for Route 225? I think I have. I think 225 is like all the way up. I think 225 is like all the way up here, because 224 is here. Yeah, 224 is over on this little bit on the side of Victory Road, which is where you get to after you help Marley. So I haven't had access to that yet. I think if I go up here, this is back on 226, so this isn't a new encounter, unfortunately. And even if it was, Hypno would be dupes, because we already have a Drowsy. Hopefully there's no trainer here. 10 out of 10 there wasn't. This must be where the move shooter is. It's the only other building we haven't been in, so it must be this guy. And what will they teach us? Well, what can they teach our two remaining Pokemon, I guess? Vermilion can learn Ice Shard or Confuse Ray. And Kai can learn Ice Shard or Hyper Voice. What can he teach in general? Ice Shard, Crush, Grip, Sleep Talk, Eruption, Mega Drain, Look at Drill Peck. Man, I can't teach Drill Peck anything though. Hyper Voice could be nice. 2 of everything, I don't have access to that. I know there should be one that's like just 8. There should be one that's just 8 red shards, and I don't know which one it'll be. Of course it's Sleep Talk. Of course it's the worst one. Of course it's the one I would never want. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the Pokemon Center, And perhaps against my better judgment, I'm going to talk to my rival. I'm going to talk to Buck and see how this goes. Okay, so in his place, just drop in. I am not talking to my rival because I think he'll fight us, and I will lose if I try to fight him right now. So we're Buck's friend. I heard about you from both Buck and Wick, so now we're allowed in here whenever we want. So pretty much, if we talk to them, we can fight them. So here we can rematch Maylene, Byron, Fantina, Buck, and Riley. And these do change every day. So in the episode where I do the rematches, expect there to be a whole bunch of random cuts. Because it'll be like, I had to come back on multiple days to get them all. And also, I'm not fighting my rival, because I will just game over if I try to fight him right about now. So what I need to do is actually save the game, end off today's episode, and train up some new Pokemon, because we lost both Venomoth and Feraligatr. And, well, that's about as bad as it could have possibly gotten. Because, like, I really needed those Pokemon. Like, Feraligatr, I've lost 2 very strong speed boost water types in record time. Like, I built them back up for other Pokemon League and they're dead like 3 episodes later. Anyway, I'm gonna end off today's episode here. I'm gonna probably rebuild the team. I might start the next episode by just like going to some... Like, I might start the next episode with like a cut of just like going to other places where I haven't had encounters yet. And getting encounters there. But, yeah, I'm gonna end this one off here, and I'll have to start the next episode either with 2 Pokemon, or with a rebuilt team. So I'll hopefully see you all for that next time. Okay, later.